This right here is the ultimate point of no return. You mess up this template, you're instantly going to ruin a massive, expensive sheet of industrial vinyl. So today we are laying down the heavy duty flooring in this van. But spoiler alert, I make a completely crucial cutting error right out of the gate. If that wasn't enough, right when the clock is ticking and my adhesive is actually flashing off, I run completely dry. What an absolute disaster. Look, I have spent 26 years in the building trade. I've been scribing floors, carpentry, plumbing, electrics, you name it, I've done a little bit of it. But I will be the first to tell you, I am not a know-it-all expert. Van builds will completely humble you fast. I'm just here to share the tricks that have kept me employed for nearly 3 decades. Now, is it the only way? Not a chance, but it's the best way I know how. And I'm going to be taking you along for the ride. So let's fix this floor. First things first, we are wrestling this absolute beast of a sheet into the van. We're using some commercial grade industrial vinyl here. Now why, you might ask? Because Campervan floors take a brutal beating. Moisture, grit, drop tools. Standard domestic vinyl will tear even if you just look at it wrong. You want a wear layer of at least 0.5 millimeters for this build. And boom, there we go, right off the bat. I have cut the wrong bit off. It happens to the best of us. But panic over, we recalibrate, we slide the whole sheet up a little bit more, we remeasure the depth, measure 3 times, then we cut it once. So we make sure we adjust it and we finally cut out the correct section to fit perfectly around that boxing in section. Vinyl can be stubborn when it's cold. You want to make sure your van is warm so the material relaxes. We're going to be forcing this material right into the corners, making sure it's seated as heavily and neatly as physically possible. Now comes the hardest part of any van floor, the wheel arches. Rowan's here again, the site manager, keeping a close eye on my tolerances today. So we have to scribe the vinyl into the arches so it completely sits flat to the floor. If you have any type of void under your vinyl, your foot will punch a hole straight through it eventually. Now I've got my own way of templating these tricky compound curves, but I know there is some absolute wizards out there right now. So question to you guys is, what is your go-to method for scribing these tight radius corners? Are you using a compass, some ticking sticks, or a cardboard template? Let me know in the comments below, because I do read every single one and I love hearing from you guys. So we take out the Stanley blade and we cut down the entire length of the van. The goal here is 0 gaps, and we are keeping it as flat as humanly possible, scribing it straight to the subfloor. Your blade technique is everything here. Always remember to use a brand new heavy duty Stanley blade. Them hook blades are great, but a straight blade works just as good to keep that angle nice and low and consistent. Never force the cut, just score it a few times and then slice it. So we tackle the back of the wheel arches, getting the angle completely dialed in, dropping it in nice and flat. Then we move to the front of the arches. Now if this isn't flush, our glue down is going to fail. Simple as that, guys. So before we even glue this down and trigger the absolute chaos which is coming, I need to tell you about something huge. Every measurement, every material spec, every single mistake I've learned is going in to the ultimate Peugeot Boxer 2007 blueprint. I am writing this step-by-step blueprint right now alongside the actual build. So the second this van is finished, the book is going to drop. If you want a flawless, headache-free roadmap for your own conversion, then hit the link in the description, join the email waiting list. Being on that list means you are the absolute first to get your hands on the blueprint, and you will get it for a massive steal at launch as well. So don't build blind, get on the list. Now let's get back to the floor. So now we arrive at the back doors, scribing around these intricate rear panels. You have to try and trace these pillars perfectly. So we pull the overhang at the sliding door, making a dead straight relief cut so it folds back nice and neatly. Now to glue a massive sheet, you never do it all at once. You fold exactly half of it back on itself. Here's a trade fact for you: adhesive hates dust. In fact, it despises it. If you leave sawdust on the ply, the glue will just bond to the dust and not the wood, and your floor will end up bubbling in a month. so sweep it up. So now we break out the heavy duty flooring adhesive and the notch trowel. For this you're going to need an A2 notch. The depth of the teeth dictates how much glue hits the floor. Too much and it will seep out of the seams. Too little and it will peel. You sweep the trowel in nice and tight, nice sweeping arcs, and then a disaster strikes. I'm out. I'm completely out of glue. I'm halfway through this spread. Here is a terrifying trade reality of flooring adhesive. It has an open time and a working time. The glue is flashing off as we speak. The moisture is evaporating. So if that cures before I drop the vinyl, it's basically useless. I have active glue drying and a massive dry patch with no glue left to fill it. Now I just can't leave sight. The floor will ruin. I have to ask the customer to sprint to the hardware store for emergency supply of this glue. The clock is ticking down. Will the fresh glue bond with the curing glue? Are we going to trap the air? Are we about to lose £500 sheet of industrial vinyl? In the next video, you're going to see exactly how we salvaged this disaster, how we rolled it out, and the final result of this insane floor install. So drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to share, and I'll see you guys on the next one.